Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today I'm going over my top 5 premiums that I regret buying the most. Now you might be thinking, well, Sealord, you do YouTube, so you get pretty much all the premiums, right? Well, yeah, I do buy most of the premium ships that come out in order to review them for you guys, so there is that. But I'm going from the point of view that if I didn't have a channel and I decide, hey, look, this ship looks neat, and I picked it up, I would definitely regret buying it. So that's the point of view I'm going for this video. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Coming in at number 5, we have the Tier 8 Italian premium battleship, the Roma. Now, this is a ship that I've done several videos on, as I truly did regret buying this ship when I did. Now, I did buy this ship like right at the start of my channel, but I wasn't making money on the channel. I didn't have a Patreon set up, so I spent my actual money on this ship. And boy, did I... wow, I did not know how to play this ship. I didn't understand it. And it was something. Now, the Roma is a very frustrating ship for newer players to play. Its guns are not accurate by any stretch of the imagination, and she hasn't really gotten much love from the devs over the years. She's pretty much stayed the same. Of course, you know, the reworks, or, you know, the command rework and a rework here and there changed some small things about her, but she hasn't really gotten any big buffs or anything. And honestly, like 98% of the Roma is absolutely solid. The armor, very good. The speed, excellent. Maneuverability, awesome. The turrets have a 30-second base 180 time. If you want to put the module on there, you can have like, I think, like a 25-second 180 time on the turrets, so that's fantastic. But the main battery guns are incredibly frustrating to use because they are wholly inaccurate. And keep in mind, the Roma was introduced far before SAP was a thing in the game. So it's not like they're inaccurate because she has, you know, 9 15-inch guns with SAP equipped. No. They're just inaccurate. Now, what she does definitely have going for her with the guns is that the 15-inch shells are absolutely cracked. They have an incredible velocity, incredible pins, so when you do find yourself fighting other battleships, it's really easy to chunk the ever-living crap out of them, if you can hit them. So when you're fighting other battleships, you're doing fairly good, because you really only need, like, you know, 3 shells to hit them, and then you're doing like 15,000 damage, and that's pretty nice. And you can Citadel. Oh man, a lot of ships that think they're safe from 15-inch guns, and they might show you a little bit too much cheek, you can cut right through that armor and Citadel the crap out of them with these guns. Now, that's all great when you're either fighting battleships or fighting ships that are angled steeply enough to, you know, increase their effective armor to the point to where the 15-inch guns can arm. But the rest of the time, you're stuck with 15 very inaccurate guns that when you do hit ships, even like the extremities of battleships, like the bow and the stern, even some of the more thickly armored areas that these shells just whiz on through, you get overpins. And it's incredibly frustrating. And this is before I knew the trick about aiming at the water just below the freeboard, to where when the shells hit the water, they slow down, and then they, at that point, typically they're going slow enough to enter into the ship's armor and then detonate inside the Citadel, and then yay, Citadels for days. It's before I really knew how to play this ship, and before I understood how this ship exactly worked. So I was incredibly just fed up with the ship. I didn't like it at all, and man, it was a very frustrating ship for me until now. Now I understand how to play it, and I do quite well in it. She's a brawler. You gotta get up in other ships' faces, and if you're fighting against cruisers, you gotta try to do the trick with the water, where you either try to make the shells land a little bit short, or you wait until they're angled enough, and then you can dunk on them like that. But yes, a ship I did regret buying for years until I finally sat down and understood how to play it. And that's why she's at number 5, because she truly isn't a bad ship. She's just pretty tricky to play, especially in today's meta. But a ship I truly did regret buying for quite some time. Alright, going down to number 4, we have the Tier 8 Premium Japanese Cruiser, the Tone. Yeah, if I had to pay for this, I would, wow. This ship is so dumb, and it's not dumb like the Incomparable, like where it's dumb because it's stupid and it's fun. The Tone is just dumb. It is essentially a worse Atago in every way, except like the concealment's a bit better. You have less guns because you have a flight deck on the back because it is a hybrid ship. And you might be thinking, well, oh, hold up, Sealer, it's a hybrid, so it's got planes. That means it's incredibly powerful, right? No. Sure, you can use the planes to spot stuff, but these planes ain't got a lot of HP. They got a little bit more HP than the Issei's planes, but other than that, not really. You get actually 2 less planes than the Issei, less torpedoes than the Issei, which is a Tier 6 ship. And these torpedoes have a terrible spread that you're not really going to be connecting all torpedoes unless the ship you're attacking is turning hard over and sails right back into the torpedoes while it's making a giant circle. It's not going to happen. And even if you do manage to land all the torpedoes with the Tone, you're doing a whopping, well, 1 Hatsuharu torpedo's worth of damage to the enemy ship. So, yeah. Now, if the plane's regenerate was a bit faster, yeah, sure, I could see, but it's 3 minutes. It's 180 seconds between planes. Yeah. So you give up guns, and you have a very underwhelming gun cruiser here. At that point, you do still have torpedoes, like shipborne torpedoes as well, so that's okay, that's workable, but just why would you buy this over Atago? Now, I get that the Tone is a real ship, and there are collectors out there that like to, get every single real still historical ship that Wargaming puts out. I can see that, but if I bought this, and this is the same price of an Atago, that's just like, why? Why would you buy this over an Atago in my mind? Now, and like Tier 8 clan battles or Tier 8 ranked, when yes, you have the planes that you can use, and if you're going up against somebody that doesn't have a CV, the spotting is there, but again, the planes aren't that sturdy, they don't have a hill, they don't have any type of consumables, they're very easy to shoot down, and then, well, you're just, you're a cruiser that's not getting its gun DPM in the fight at that point if you're just sitting in the planes and spotting. So yeah, this ship was not only a big letdown for me, but definitely if I spent money on it that wasn't generated by ad revenue from the channel, it would definitely be one I would highly have regretted purchasing. Alright, going down to number 3, we're still at Tier 8 with the Tier 8 Premium American Cruiser, the Anchorage. Now, the Anchorage isn't really a bad ship. It's just kind of a meh boat, in my opinion, because it's an American cruiser with smoke. Woo! You're still going to be sitting behind islands with it most of the time. And torpedoes. It does have torpedoes as well. So, American cruiser with smoke and torpedoes. Okay, again, that's not necessarily a bad mix-up to the American cruiser formula. The issue was Anchorage was a dockyard ship. So you had to grind through the dockyard or pay your way through the dockyard in order to get this ship. And then the ship that's waiting you at the end of the grind is an entirely mediocre American cruiser. If the main battery guns didn't have a 15-second reload, might be more worth it because, 15 seconds on a Tier 8 cruiser. I get, it's got 12 guns and all, but that's still a long reload time on a cruiser at Tier 8. So, yeah. Maybe if it was, more along the lines like 12 seconds, okay, I could see that. Because, truth be told, the torpedoes, you don't really use them that much. I mean, they're 9-kilometer torps. If someone's pushing your smoke screen, they're great for that. And, you can throw them down a channel that you're sailing by if you just want to maybe grab somebody there with a random torpedo. But again, the way this ship is played, it's still played like most American cruisers, where you sit behind an island. So, again, unless someone's pushing your smoke or your island, you don't really use them that much. So, yeah, and again, like, it's not a bad ship. It's just what you would have to have gone through to get this ship, like I'm sure quite a few of you did go through. It's just kind of like, was it really worth it? It definitely wasn't worth paying your way through the dockyard, in my opinion. And again, you could have grinded your way through it and bought the last couple of stages. But me personally, if I had grinded through the whole thing, got the last couple of stages, then I got, again, basically just a mediocre Tier 8 American cruiser with a smoke, when there's a ton of other Tier 8 premium ships out there in the American branch that you could have gotten for, the same price, essentially. Yeah, like, why? It's just a ship that's kind of a meh boat, in my opinion, and one that definitely wasn't worth the grind. So, yeah. Alright, going on down to number 2, still sticking at Tier 8, we have the Tier 8 Premium German battleship, the Tirpitz. Stop typing. Hear me out. 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 The Tirpitz was the very first premium I bought. Now, I was only at the Tier 6 ship in the American line, the New Mexico, when I bought it. So I dumped $48 on this game within a month of playing it because I was getting tired of the New Mexico. I wanted to get to Tier 8. So I bought the Tirpitz, started playing Tier 8, got double up tier to Tier 10. Keep on, this is back in 2017, 2018, where we still had RTS CVs that could absolutely just dumpster the Tirpitz because AA was not even a factor for them back in the day, especially with regards to the Tirpitz. Alright? So I got double up tiered, I got dumpstered by CVs, clapped by Yamatos and Montanas, farmed to hell from Khabarosks and things. Well, really it was just Khabarovsk that could do that back in the day. So yeah, it wasn't a fun time, and I realized, oh no, this was a mistake. I just wasted $48 because I have no idea how the hell to play at Tier 8, 9, and 10. And guess what happened to that Tirpitz? It got played like for a couple of days, and then I parked it until I got done grinding up to, I think I didn't play it again until I started grinding up the Germans and I got to the Bismarck. And keep in mind, I grinded up through the American line, through the Japanese battleship line, and then through, I think, not the Japanese cruisers, the American cruisers, and then not halfway up to the Bismarck in the German line before I touched the Tirpitz again. So I definitely regretted buying that thing because I didn't know what to do. And this is more of a cautionary tale for you newer players out there. If you're watching this list trying to see what premiums not to buy, don't buy any premium that you're not at least to that tier in some other tech line. Why? Because it's going to be a terrible experience, you're not going to know what you're doing, and you're wasting your money because you're not going to get the most out of that premium ship. And this was before I had a premium count too, and even playing a premium ship, I wasn't making any money because I wasn't able to do anything. Because again, I'd get clapped because I was trying to snipe with the Tirpitz. I saw, it's got 20, what does it have, 21, 22 kilometer main battery gun range. I'm going to sit in the back and snipe with it. Yeah, that's fun until, you're getting clapped by a Yamato because you're sitting still trying to snipe somebody in the Tirpitz. So, yeah, more of a cautionary tale, but again, definitely a very early on regret for me spending that much money on a ship that I had no idea how to play at all. Tirpitz, again, today, it's a great boat. It's got that dog in it. It can do fantastic things in the right hands and in the experienced hands as well. And it is one of my favorite premiums now in the game, but a ship I regretted buying big time when I bought it way back in 2018 as my first premium ship as a young Sea Lord. Didn't know what the hell he was doing. Alright, coming on down to number 1, we have the Tier 9 Pan-Asian battleship, the Sun Yat Sen. If I had to pay for this thing, man, this would have... No. This ship is terrible. Again, I did pay for it with the YouTube funds or Patreon funds, but if I had to buy this with money from my primary job, oh man, no, man, if Wargaming did refunds, absolutely. This ship is garbage. Man, you have 6 457mm guns on this ship, which you might be thinking, oh well, so you get 18-inch guns. Yeah, you do, but they're not 18.1-inch, so you only overmatch up to 30mm of armor, which is a pretty good thing today. Man, back when we had like the first 457mm ships come out, like the old school Conqueror, where you could swap over to the 457s, it was like, yeah, you can overmatch 30mm of armor, but that's like 3 ships in the game, and now, oh boy, yeah. So you do get that. However, their alpha is the same as the 16-inch guns that you would find on the Vladivostok. So despite having big old 18-inch guns, you have 16-inch alpha, which means you're effectively driving a boat that has 6 16-inch guns at tier 8 that can overmatch 30mm of armor. And the guns aren't accurate. They didn't Georgia this one. If you're wondering what that means, Georgia, which is the tier 9 American battleship that also has 6 18-inch guns, well, 457s, she was like a laser pointer when she came out. And she was incredibly accurate. You could nuke, man, just about anything you wanted to with the Georgia. So they actually bonked her accuracy down to where it's still pretty accurate, especially if you build into the accuracy with the modules and such. But no, the Sun Yat Sen, a Georgia is not. No. It ain't that. It ain't got that dog in it. It's just a ship that is frustratingly inaccurate. It does have a pretty nice reload time if you build into it, but that doesn't really make up for it. It's just a miserable experience, and a ship I would highly recommend avoiding like the plague and not spending your money on. So, yeah. It does suck. This is the first high-tier Pan-Asian battleship, and maybe we'll get some better ships in the future, but yeah, nope, absolutely not. No thank you. I will not be buying this ship if my account somehow gets deleted and then I have to go back and get everything again. But yeah, a ship I would avoid, one that's not worth the money at all. If you get it in a container, it's a nice port queen. I guess if you just really want a Pan-Asian battleship commander trainer for some reason, even though there's no Pan-Asian battleship line yet, you don't have any other choices. But yeah, nope. Sun Yat Sen, terrible boat. You're not missing anything here. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you would have added to this list. What are your premium ships that you regret buying, or some of them like mine where you just didn't understand them at the time, and with age you finally understood them and you appreciate them for what they are, or just fill it full of ships that you regret buying at all. If you did enjoy, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys have a great Monday and a great rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.